A source of a lot of confusion for people is whether they are an introvert or whether they are socially anxious or whether there's a combination of the two. A really simple way to determine if you are an introvert or if you're socially anxious is to recognize that being an introvert is mainly about how you recharge and recuperate your energy after social events or after you're around people. Do you feel the need to go to your room and spend time alone, and just a period of isolation where you need to that's how you recover and you feel good again, is when you are alone by yourself, and then after a certain period you're ready to go back and you're being around people feels fine again until you need to once again go alone. That's basically all being an introvert is. It's a way in which you recover energy. Social anxiety is an introversion. They're not the same. People often confuse the two terms. When you're socially anxious, people might call you an introvert as another way of calling you a socially anxious person. When really just being an introvert it should not be a negative term. It's just the way your personal style of recovering energy. But people will call you an introvert when they see shy and fearful behavior in social contexts, because they think, oh, he must be an introvert because he's shy, he's not talking a lot, he's quiet, he looks scared, he doesn't look comfortable, so he must be an introvert. I don't know when this started happening. It's been like this for a while. People confusing social anxiety and introversion, but they're distinctly different, because introversion is just merely you needing time to recharge your energy alone, whereas with social anxiety, it's that you have a fear of social situations and people, and you're not comfortable in those situations fully. You have physical symptoms sometimes in your body. Maybe you start sweating around people, or maybe you start stammering, your voice gets shaky. You just feel fear and nervous energy in your body around people. And I think the reason that introversion and social anxiety get confused so much is probably because introverts naturally spend more time alone. So people automatically conclude that, oh, that person spends time alone, he's antisocial, therefore he must be socially anxious as well, and he doesn't fit into the standard box of what I think a person should be. Like, extroverts are the standard for which people judge and kind of characterize other people. The norm is definitely to be more extroverted and outgoing and the life of the room. If you're in the opposite corner where you're more quiet and thoughtful and introspective, then automatically that behavior is seen as different. So just the basic difference between the two is that it's okay to be an introvert. It's just your style of recharging your batteries and needing time alone after a period where you socialize for a long time. It doesn't mean you fear people. However, with introversion, you need to be careful, because with your style to recharge your batteries alone, it can lead to a situation where you do become more sensitive over time. If you spend too much time alone, you got to notice if social anxiety and introversion, they're bleeding together and you start to avoid social situations. That's when you need to recognize that fear is starting to play up in you, and it's not just your introversion that is causing you to avoid people. It's actually fear. You you start to have this negative association to social situations and people, and that's when you need to really start asking yourself, okay, am I now socially anxious? Is this no longer just a personality trait of mine where I like to spend time alone in order to recharge my batteries? Because you do need, even introverts do need social connection. Everyone, even extroverts, introverts, we're all social animals, and we do need a minimum amount of social connection in order to feel whole and function healthily in the world. So you just need to look inside yourself and really get clear on what it is for you, whether you're both introverted and socially anxious, or if you're just introverted. Good, because if you have no real struggle around people, then you're probably just an introvert, and that's your style is just to recharge your energy in silence, in your own space, alone. But if you do struggle around people, then you got to start asking yourself, okay, this is probably social anxiety. I may be an introvert by default, but on top of this, on top of my introversion, there is social anxiety, which is the struggle that I have around people. So ask yourself that, and hopefully that clears up a little of the confusion around whether you're an introvert or socially anxious or both. And I will see you guys in the next video.